Hello, my Possum pals, and welcome to something I've been wanting to try for a little bit now. Little painting videos. Today we've got the Xenomorph Warrior from Gale Force 9. They made him for the tabletop miniatures game. Wonderful detail. We have gone ahead and undercoated with a with Rust-O-Leum's matte black spray. I mean, we did that about 7 months ago, but backlogs and all that. And we're gonna be hopefully making this boy look good. We're gonna be going for the subtle green lighting. And hopefully, I don't make him a little leprechaun. I have not painted in a bit, so we're gonna start out with Army Shader Quick Shade, green tone. Plop a little glob on there. I'm gonna grab our one of our wash brushes. That was kind of fucked. Grab that on there. Get the excess off, and just kind of go to town on him real quick. Get all up in him. We're gonna leave the mouth alone. I wanted that to be I guess it doesn't matter because it's opaque, but the fewer layers of gunmetal I have to apply, the better my life is. Very gentle with the tail because it does only have that one connector point right on its ass. And I lost a few tails when I moved, so we're gonna sit that down to let it dry. Alrighty, now that that's dry, we're gonna apply a thin coat of Greenskin, just basically over the entire model. Of course, avoiding the mouth parts because I like Army Painter because it's thin enough that you could just use it right out of the bottle. Oh, be better if I tried to keep the model on the camera, huh? Alright, and we will let that dry. Alright, now that that coat is dry, uh, we're going to grab our dark tone and just kind of apply it all over the fucking thing. This will help mute that green and get it a bit more to a mottled color that we want. Whoops. Caught on my glove, flew across the screen. That's fine. Everything's fine. Load up our brush. Boop, 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 boop. Just really slap it on the fucking guy. The dark tone is great because in addition to bringing down the overall color of our base coat there, it's going to really give us some nice shadows like you see on the head here already, how it's pooling in like the crevasses and everything. Gotta wash your booty. Wash that booty. So while we want it to settle in, we don't really want it to pool. So if you see it pooling, just kind of flick the brush over it a few times. See how it really pops out the definition of the sculpt. It's very nice. Washes like this are very nice for doing that. And again, we're going to let this sit and dry. All right, now that our shade is dry, next there is going to be Wizard's Orb. What we're going to do, we're going to dry brush. And to dry brush, you grab the most fucked up brush you have. We're going to use this one that I use for dry bunching a bunch of rust onto Nurgle miniatures. You just kind of give it a light little dab into the paint just to get some on the tips. Wipe off as much as you can. You stamp that thing relentlessly into a napkin until only a little is left. Like that? Perfect. And then you just kind of go, up, up, up. Just kind of pick it over the raised parts of the model. And eventually, you'll build up a bit of color on there. Starting with the tail, because I want to start gentle on this. Oh. You go perpendicular or across the raised edges to build up a bit of color on them. Oop. Then you drop the model because you're clumsy. This works really well with the shading. The shading nestles in the deeper parts of the model, and this picks out the higher parts. A very nice little like gradient gets built up as you do this. And as we do this, we can see that nice, brighter green highlights start to develop. Be a bit tricky to get in there, but just kind of mash the brush in there. I got it, it's fine. Whatever. Well, that said, a few minutes. Now that's dry, we're going to move on to snake scales. Where are we? Here we are. We're just going to grab our finest brush for this, and we're going to do a nice line highlight. Going to take a little bit and go over all the really raised edges, just very gently with a little bit. And just kind of do that for anything that looks really sharp or like it would glisten a little. And then once you've got all your highlights picked out, what you want to do, we're going to dry brush over that really gently with the wizard orb again to dull it back down. I'm going to be using a smaller dry brush than before because really we just want to target the edges we just highlight and bring them back down a little. Now we're going to move on to the mouth, so we'll grab our gunmetal and our ultrafine brushes. Very carefully, we're going to pick out. I'm going to follow that up with a little shining silver. We're going to hit it one more time with our dark tone just to bring everything back down again. Make it look a little grimy, a little shiny. We're really just going to get it on everywhere. Now we're going to let that dry for a little bit. Actually, since we're waiting for that shade to dry, let's grab our... Nope. Yeah, I guess we'll grab our wash brush, load it up with some of that leftover gunmetal, and we'll do the base real quick. Very careful to kind of drag it along the top like that. So now we've got the gunmetal down. We're going to hit it with a bit of soft tone just to make it look kind of dingy, grody. And make sure you get it on the rim just to kind of complete the look. Set that down to dry. And now all that's left is to hit it with the gloss varnish to give it that wet look. And we are pretty much done. So again, we'll grab our wash brush, goop it up. We're going to start at the feet and we're just going to draw it upward, covering every surface of the model. Not only does this make it look wet and shiny, it's also going to help protect it. If you want protection without it looking wet, you'd need a matte varnish. If you want halfway in between, for whatever reason, you'd want a semi-gloss. And the gloss is great for aliens because they are fucking constantly wet for some reason. And you wanna, again, like with the washes, hit this sucker everywhere. And lastly, the tail. It'll help if I keep him on camera. Gives a little mouth bit extra glossy. Drippy web boy. Drippy wet fang boy. And we're gonna set him down to dry. And now that the gloss is set, let's take a look. I don't think he looks all that bad. Definitely very shiny, which is what we wanted. Love the muted green colors, like our reference had. And definitely not blue like somebody fucking scared me about. And that is one alien warrior. Thank you for joining me. I hope this is usable footage. If you like it, I'll paint more miniatures in the future. I learned a lot about painting on camera on this, and thank you and goodbye.